Hey, book lovers, book readers, book friends. Welcome to Read This Book. I am your book hostess, LaShonda, bringing you this week's book review of Quarantine and Chill by Kenya Wright. Listen, if there is ever a book about a quarantine that you wanted to read while in a quarantine, then this is your book. Kenya Wright has written a book that could have been all doom and gloom and depressing. And she has written a funny, sexy, culturally rich love story about a quarantine. People, get this book. This is the story of Kamal and Jade. Kamal is the brother of Zora, and Jade is Zora's best friend. Zora got married, and her husband are on their honeymoon, and Jade is back at her apartment in New York, at Zora's apartment, to watch her dog until they get back from their honeymoon. And this, of course, pandemic hits. Kamal has a place, but due to some drama, he had to vacate the premises, and he decides to camp at his sister's house, not realizing that Jade would be there. They're friends, like they're family friends. They've known each other like forever, and so there's this interesting dynamic of, well, what are you doing here? Oh man, I forgot you was gonna be here, and you're in my space. It was kind of like this brother and sister kind of banter back and forth between them. But it was interesting how they both were dealing with the pandemic, right? Jade was very much of a worry wart, like she had to check all of the news sites. She wanted to know the latest statistics. She was reading everything gloom and doom on social media and watching the news, and I'm like, girl, that is no way to live. You gonna be stressed out and angry and depressed. You ain't gonna know what to do with your life. Turn that TV off and get off of there and go walk that dog. Kamal is very much thinking of like, okay, wait, how does this affect my business? How's this gonna affect my employees? He's thinking about the bigger picture of things, right? And I loved how she blended in how we would want companies to act, as owners and taking care of their employees. She really put a lot of thought into how Kamal treated his employees and what they did to be employed, to worry about their mental health, all of that good stuff. Like, she covered the gamut. And so they are basically in the apartment together, and Jade is like, why are you here? He won't tell her what happened because there was some drama that popped off, and he was like, I just need to chill here. Okay. And she was like, okay. And then it was kind of like this, again, they kind of have this brother sister banter going on and just cracking jokes and being funny. And then it was like they're looking at each other like, when did he get fined? Like, when did she get that ass? All these like little inner dialogues and stuff was happening, which was really hilarious. I love the camaraderie and the friendship. I loved how they really took time to talk to each other. Jade is Zora's best friend, and he knows Jade, but he really got the time to know her, and she got to know him. And then they gave in to the simmering attraction between them, and then all the sex that happened. Yeah. It was sexy. I was like, damn, can I quarantine with Kamal in New York City? I can't? Okay, I'll just read. Yeah. So it was some sexy going on, and then the drama pops off, and I'm like, drama. And what I liked is that she did not throw in, like, again, all the gloom and doom factors, right? Like, she still showed that people are still gonna be human. Like, Jade would go walk the dog, and there's this one guy there that owned the gym, and he's a jerk. you know, he's one of those guys like, I work out and I own a business and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I really want to just, you know, chill with you. I'm just so lonely because we have to social distance and it's total crap. And I'm like, you are a jerk. No one wants to hang with you. No one wants to quarantine and chill with you. Okay? Go flex your muscles in your mirror and go somewhere. You don't care about that dog. He was annoying. And Kamal was when I tell you Kamal could block, Kamal was a cock blocker. He was a hater. He shut that shit down. I'm telling you, there are moments I just cackled through this book at some of the antics that Kamal did. Like, nah, that's mine. Back up. I'm like, damn, dude, okay. All the antics, right? So they're dealing with, you know, the quarantine, you know, getting provisions, you know, being safe, wearing their mask. And Zora and her husband are basically stuck in Fiji, I think, on their honeymoon, and they can't get out. And so now Kamal and Jade have more time to be together. And Zora is like, girl, you better hit that. And Jade was like, any to the way. It was an excellent book. So they get through what was considered the quarantine time, you know, realize that they have feelings for each other, and, you know, let's pursue this. You know, their parents are ecstatic because, again, Jade has been like a member of the family to them. And so they're like ecstatic about the union and whatnot. And then they're getting married, which was the culturally rich part of the story because Kamal is Indian, and not Native American Indian, but Indian. So as they're talking about this wedding, you know, she really goes into great detail about the wedding ceremony. Like, why is it so many days? What different things mean? What the colors mean? Why they have the elephants? You know, the groom has to pay to enter the tent to get to the bride. I mean, just beautiful cultural references. Like, she paints a picture of this wedding that is so vivid. I felt like I was there. I felt like I went to this wedding and I partied and I had a great time. I had on my sari, I had my henna. I mean, just the details and the love of it, the religion, and not religion like you got beat over the head with a sermon, but the kind of religious beliefs behind certain things that they do. But it was beautiful, and it was more than I ever knew about Indian ceremonies. Like, I knew about they rode on elephants, I didn't know why, but she put that into this book, and I'm like, boom, mind blown. I need Indian friends so I can go to an Indian wedding for real and get my party on, because it's real. It's real. It was beautiful how she wove in the culture and how she wove in them coming together, the families blending. That the beauty of this story was, out of this pandemic, love blossomed between these two people, and they are living their happily ever after. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Like I said, there's some drama, there's the sexy, there's the cultural elements, there's the New York sass, the attitude. There's just so many things, so much care that she put into crafting this story, that you really don't focus on, oh, it's a quarantine, and you think about your circumstances being in quarantine, but you just kind of like, I want to quarantine and chill. Can I quarantine and chill with Kamal? I can't? Oh, okay. I guess I'll quarantine with the one I'm with. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, people, you should read this book. It is wonderful. It is a quick read, well, at least it was for me, because it was so engaging. Like, when you start, you will not want to put it down. So this week's review is Quarantine and Chill by Wright. Get it, read it, love it. Until next time, read a good book.